Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little knife unboxing to share with you guys. Voice still froggy, probably just going to keep pointing that out because of the first time that I don't do it, someone's going to be like, why did your voice sound so weird, Metal Complex? It's because I'm sick. I can't even yell. As soon as I start to yell, I start coughing. I'm sorry. I know, this channel sucks right now. I'm sorry my voice sounds like this. Anyways, today we have an unboxing of a KB knife. Now, if you're like me, you're probably a little, and I agree with you. A lot of this stuff from KB, not that Kubey and KB or whatever they call their ultra premium brand, not that they're incapable of making a nice knife. Actually, far from it. The opposite. I think they shine really bright in the budget territory. Some of their steel choices are a little weird, but definitely a capable manufacturer. It's their premium end that I've found questionable in terms of pricing, not necessarily in terms of execution, some cases here and there. But their prices are just, whoa, really high, right? A lot of their competition really putting forth some extra effort when we're looking at the same price point, and it just doesn't seem to be present with Kubey. Now, I've already been in this box and I looked it over, and really the reason that I'm doing this upload is what I found on their website, because this is more impressive in a lot of ways than a lot of other stuff that I have seen from Kubey. But I had some other things that I didn't realize, and I have some new questions, right? So we're going to go over all of that. Thanks so much to Kubey for sending this in. I will link this knife down in the description. It's available in multiple forms and has quite the range in terms of price. Did I say thanks to my patrons? Thanks to my patrons. Okay, so what do we have here? We have the Kubey, excuse me, KB 266C. I hate these. I wish they would say the actual name of the knife, which I found out, by the way, is called the Velvet Snake. Put that on the box, Kubey. The codes and stuff are crazy. Type M390 plus tie and camo. Color green is just wrong. There's some green on this knife, but that's not the dominant color. So anyways, what we have here, this is 80s. I think they call this 80s camo carbon, which I'm going to be honest, I actually really like this stuff. This is cool. It's fun. It looks like somebody melted a fashion show from the late 80s. That's what it makes me think of, right? That's cool. This is a thumb stud opening knife with kind of like a sub frame lock. We have the titanium clip here, very basic. And it looks like there's a mounting position on the other side, but it's actually not going to work because the clip needs to be nested into the scale with only one screw, and you can see it's not present there. Anyways, the knife actually functions really, really well. Straightforward, nothing we've never seen before. It even has a little front flipper, top flipper thing that works really nicely. What's the blade steel? M390. How did they heat treat it? 60 to 62. Awesome. Thank you, Kubey. There's a ton of companies who are like, no, we just gotta be 59 to 61. We can't do it. I can't even mock people properly with this voice because my voice sounds so stupid to begin with. Kubey, nice work on the 60 to 62. But this is the DLC one, Metal Complex. That one's actually gonna be 59 to 61, right? Apparently not. They just list them all on their website as 60 to 62. So, Kubey or KB knives. Number one, nice work on just getting it up there where it needs to be, right? Just getting it done. We appreciate that. Number two, is the DLC one really also 60 to 62? Because if that's the case, can you share the secret with literally every other company out there? Every other company has told me, yeah, when you code it, it drops the range by 1 point. Are you guys actually taking extra measures to heat this in a way that allows you to keep that range specifically on the DLC ones, right? Is this actually DLC? It looks like DLC. I suppose we could find out. We just scratch it real quick. Let's try. So people always, someone tried to tell me the other day, like, no, you could do that to a satin blade and you could just wipe it off too. Yeah, I did that one time. Actually, in my one of my tests for Kunwu's DLC knives, the knife that got scratched was this guy. It does not wear. It does not wipe off. Don't tell me. If you don't know, don't tell me that. On the DLC, though, if you scratch it with something like a bit, you should be able to see the marks initially. But then if it's actually DLC, those should wipe off, right? We're going to assist it just a little bit with some break free, which I have somewhere in here. There we go. But yeah, we're going to assist it just a bit with some break free. But a true DLC, as demonstrated a few times on this channel, will resist that, right? What it should do is that what was left over was not a scratch. It was literally pulverizing the material of this bit into the face of the blade here, which is coated with, if true DLC, is incredibly hard. It's like 80 Rockwell plus. There should be no hint of scratches left behind if that's the case. Yeah, all I'm seeing is just the mark, like just literally just like the swipe marks from, it'd just be what's left over from the CLP and just me swiping across it. But those scratches, are they not, is that what that is? Or am I imagining it? Hold on. It's important to find out, right? I mean, I don't make this knife. It's not like I'm like specifically rooting for or against it. I just want to know. I'm not seeing anything. I don't see any scratches. This appears to be actually DLC. Yeah, so, okay. It looks like Kubi's actually using DLC. So, with this legitimately being DLC, as far as my test goes, right? What are you guys doing differently? How are you keeping the HRC range up there for the DLC stuff? Is that just a misprint? Do you mean 5961? I'm legitimately curious, because if you guys can do it, every other company should be able to do it. We shouldn't just have to be like, well, it's DLC. I guess we just have to eat a whole HRC point, right? Like that means the difference. And like, I know a lot of people say the same thing. The average person's not going to be able to tell the difference. Rah, rah, rah. Yeah, pat yourself on the back for that one, right? But the average consumer still wants all the horsepower from their motor, even if they don't plan to race the car they bought, right? So spare us that little nugget of wisdom that keeps being regurgitated by everybody, right? Spare us that. I want to know, because that actually does make a huge difference. Every single point up makes a big difference in terms of the potential edge retention, right? So this is a pretty good geometry M390 blade. 60 to 62 is absolutely, in my opinion, optimized for M390. So this is a high quality blade, especially if they're doing, it's not quite a shiny satin, but it's pretty smooth. It's not the chalky stuff that we see from Spyderco. It's pretty nice, right? And this ends up being a pretty high performance item if it's the DLC coating and the range is 60 all the way up to 62. That's great. So if you guys are doing something different, what's the difference, right? Now, on the downside, the base price of the Velvet Snake, which, let's be real, is pretty basic, right? This would have been something that we could have easily seen released by a Chinese company in 2016, 2017, right? Maybe 2018. So right in there. They want $280 for the base version of this, which is, okay. Like, I mean, I think it would feel a lot better at about $250. It's contoured. It's real nice. You got the tie backspacer, tie clip. There's nothing really special going on with it outside of the DLC, right? But this isn't the base version. I said the base version. This DLC version goes for $350. Real nice for DLC, right? A lot of you are going to say, oh, so they can do it. They can't do it, but Kunwu can. Big difference. Kunwu does, for that, if we're talking that price range, $350, you're going to get contoured, textured titanium. You're also getting Damascus accents. You're getting a satin DLC, right? Most of the time, you're getting an exotic blade material like Vancron S390 or Vanex, which, if you didn't know, those are more expensive blade steels than M390. Period. It's not a guess. They're more expensive, right? So, why is it justified when Kunwu does it and not when Kubi does it, because Kunwu's giving you more, right? So that's what I say. When you bump up into that $300 territory, you better bring something extra. I like the fact that they're working with DLC. I think it's really cool. I like this camo carbon stuff, but this doesn't feel like a $350 knife, right? So, still want to know about the M390 and the DLC stuff. Like, I want to know with the HRC range. That's really interesting. Kubi can obviously make a good product, but it's like, I feel like they're like, everybody else is raising their prices, so we're gonna too. Everybody is raising their prices, but most of these companies are also raising their their sauce that they're bringing to the table. They're also doing extra things that make those products more digestible at 300 plus. Kubi, it doesn't feel like you're really bringing anything extra. You're making a good $250 knife, but not a $350 knife, right? This DLC, this is how I think these should have been priced. $250 for the base version, $275 to $280 for DLC would have been fine, right? Again, Kubi, clearly capable of making a good product. Some of these KB knives really confuse me. Feels good though. This is not a review. It's just an unboxing and first impressions. I just wanted to talk about this stuff. Overall length of this guy, 7.75. Blade length is coming in at 3.35, and your cutting edge is about 3.25. So, anyways, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. That's going to be it for today's unboxing and first impressions of the KB Velvet Snake. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.